His fiancée pleads with him not to volunteer for a dangerous military mission.
Don't be a fool with your life.
Ignoring her wishes, he joins the attack and never returns. Days later, his marriage proposal finally arrives.
Come back and make me your wife.
But by then, news of his passing has already reached home. The lyrics stay lodged word for word, tied to a memory that feels certain, and some of those memories turn out wrong once the actual story gets checked. 10 songs made it onto 1970s radio and left that mark, exploring the versions kids carried for decades against what actually happened behind them. Here are 10 songs that traumatized 1970s kids and the dark lyrics nobody explained. Number 1. Timothy, The Buoys, 1970.
Timothy, we're under.
The first song on our list is Timothy by The Buoys, released in 1970. At first listen, it sounds like another dramatic rock song, but the lyrics tell a far darker story. The song follows 3 miners trapped underground after a cave-in. As the lyrics unfold, only 2 miners make it back to the surface. The mysterious disappearance of Timothy is never explained directly, but the lyrics strongly suggest the survivors stayed alive by eating him. This is the song I told you about. When radio presenters realized what the lyrics were implying, many stations quickly removed it from their playlists. The controversy only increased public curiosity, helping the single climb the charts. Songwriter Rupert Holmes, who later became famous for Escape, the Pina Colada song,
If you like pina coladas and getting caught.
admitted that the record label encouraged the shocking storyline because they believed controversy would attract attention. It certainly worked, making Timothy one of the decade's most talked about songs.
Daddy, please don't. It wasn't his fault. He means so much.
Number 2. Run Joey Run, David Geddes, 1975.
So run, Joey, run, Joey, run.
Released in 1975, David Geddes' Run Joey Run sounded like an emotional teenage love story, but it carried one of the saddest endings heard on radio during the decade. The song tells the story of Julie and her boyfriend Joey, whose relationship is strongly opposed by Julie's father. When the father confronts Joey with a gun, Julie jumps in front of him and loses her life while trying to protect the person she loves. The spoken dialogue between the characters made listeners feel as though they were witnessing the event unfold in real time. Many younger listeners were caught completely off guard by the heartbreaking conclusion. By the way, I make videos like this every day, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.
You live your life in the songs you hear on the rock and roll radio.
Number 3. Angie Baby, Helen Reddy, 1974.
Angie, baby, you're a special lady.
Helen Reddy's Angie Baby, released in 1974, remains one of the strangest songs ever to become a hit. The lyrics describe a lonely young woman named Angie who spends nearly all her time listening to the radio inside her bedroom. One evening, a local boy enters her room with harmful intentions. Instead of becoming his victim, Angie somehow pulls him into the mysterious world of her radio, where he disappears forever. The song never explains whether this supernatural event is real or simply part of Angie's imagination. That uncertainty fascinated adults but left many younger listeners genuinely unsettled. Even today, fans continue debating exactly what happened at the end.
The marching band came down along Main Street.
Number 4. Billy, Don't Be a Hero, Bo Donaldson and the Heywoods, 1974.
Billy, don't be a hero, don't be a fool with your.
Released in 1974, Billy, Don't Be a Hero became one of the biggest hits of the year, despite telling a deeply emotional story. Billy's fiancée pleads with him not to volunteer for a dangerous military mission. Ignoring her wishes, Billy joins the attack and never returns. Days later, his marriage proposal finally arrives, but by then, news of his passing has already reached home. Although never mentioning the Vietnam War directly, many listeners connected its message with families affected by military service. For children growing up during that period, the song carried an emotional weight that lingered long after it ended.
We've known each other since we were 9 or 10.
Number 5. Seasons in the Sun, Terry Jacks, 1974.
We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. But
Few songs created such confusion as Seasons in the Sun by Terry Jacks, also released in 1974. Its cheerful melody encouraged people to sing along happily, yet the lyrics tell the story of a man spending his final moments saying goodbye to his father, his wife, and his closest friend. Many children loved the catchy tune without paying attention to the words. Later, once they understood the message, the song took on a completely different meaning. That contrast between bright music and emotional storytelling helped make it unforgettable.
He was on his way home from Candletop, been 2 weeks gone, and he thought...
Number 6. The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia, Vicki Lawrence, 1972.
That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia.
Released in 1972, Vicki Lawrence's dramatic storytelling classic surprised listeners with one of the biggest twists of the decade. The story begins with a man wrongly blamed for a serious crime. Despite maintaining his innocence, he receives the harshest punishment possible. Only afterwards does the audience discover the truth. The real people responsible are his own sister and her secret lover. The fact that the innocent man never receives justice shocked many listeners, especially younger fans expecting a happier ending. The final revelation stayed with audiences for years. If you are still here, it means you love such videos, so subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos like this. Number 7. Wildfire, Michael Martin Murphey, 1975. Michael Martin Murphey's Wildfire, released in 1975, sounds like a peaceful country ballad until listeners notice its heartbreaking story. A young woman ventures into a powerful snowstorm searching for her beloved horse, Wildfire. She never returns, and the closing verses suggest that her spirit is reunited with the horse after her passing. The gentle piano and soft vocals disguised an unexpectedly emotional narrative. Many young listeners only recognize the true meaning years later, making the song far more haunting in hindsight. Number 8. Excitable Boy, Warren Zevon, 1978. By 1978, Warren Zevon had developed a reputation for mixing humor with unusually dark storytelling. His song Excitable Boy follows a troubled young man whose increasingly disturbing behavior eventually leads to shocking acts. Even more unsettling, the upbeat music continues almost cheerfully while the lyrics grow darker. Many younger listeners focused on the energetic melody and completely missed that the song was actually a piece of dark satire rather than a celebration of its main character. That contrast gave the song its unforgettable reputation. Number 9. Cats in the Cradle, Harry Chapin, 1974.
Dad, I don't know when we'll get together then, son.
Unlike many songs on this list, Harry Chapin's Cats in the Cradle contains no supernatural mystery or dramatic crime. Instead, it tells the heartbreaking story of a father who is always too busy for his young son. Years later, when the father finally has time, the grown son repeats the same pattern and has little time for him. This emotional cycle resonated with countless families. Chapin explained that the lyrics were inspired by a poem written by his wife, reflecting the challenges created by his demanding touring schedule. For many children, this quiet story felt more personal than any fictional tale.
We both found what we were looking for.
Number 10. Ben, Michael Jackson, 1972.
Ben, you're always running here and there.
Our final entry is Ben by Michael Jackson, released in 1972. At first, it sounds like a beautiful ballad celebrating a loyal friendship. Countless young listeners imagined Michael Jackson singing warmly about a close companion. This is the second song I told you about. Only later did many discover that Ben was written for a horror film, and the beloved friend in the lyrics is actually a rat. That surprising revelation completely changed how many people heard the song afterwards. What once sounded comforting suddenly became one of the strangest chart-topping songs of the entire decade. These 10 songs proved that some of the biggest hits of the 1970s carried stories far deeper than their melodies suggested. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this countdown, remember to like, subscribe and share the video with another classic music fan.